Navajo family near Fort Defiance. The iconic photograph captures a Navajo family in 1873, stationed close to Fort Defiance. This image holds immense historical significance as it portrays a Navajo family shortly after their return to ancestral lands following the brutal Long Walk and internment at Bosque Redondo. Their traditional attire, including the bows and arrows held by the boys, speaks volumes about their cultural heritage and resilience. Despite the seriousness in their expressions, a sense of determination and perseverance shines through, reflecting their strength in the face of immense hardship. Bird's eye view of a Lakota camp. Taken from a high vantage point, it showcases a vast Lakota Sioux camp, likely situated near Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. Dozens of teepees are spread out across the landscape, along with horses and even wagons. This comprehensive view offers a wealth of information about the size and organization of the camp, hinting at the social structure and daily activities of the inhabitants. Wyatt Her. This image portrays Wyatt Her in his official capacity as a lawman. He's clad in a suit and tie, a clear departure from the typical Wild West attire. The prominent marshal's badge on his chest leaves no doubt about his authority. His serious expression and the formality of the pose, possibly a studio portrait, all contribute to the image of a respected and determined lawman who ensured order in the untamed frontier. The Deadwood Coach, 1889. John C. H. Grabble's The Deadwood Coach, 1889, offers a snapshot of Wild West travel. A horse-drawn stagecoach, likely in South Dakota's Black Hills, navigates a dusty road. Passengers, a mix of social classes, fill the coach's compartments and top. The team of 4 horses pulls the carriage through the rugged landscape, showcasing the realities of Wild West travel, essential for expansion but often long uncomfortable and fraught with danger. Doc Holliday's wife. There are a few images believed to be her from the general era of the 1880s, offering a potential glimpse into her appearance. Big Nose Kate, whose real name was Mary Catherine Horany Cummings, was Doc Holliday's longtime companion and likely common-law wife. Despite some mysteries surrounding her life, she remains a noteworthy figure in Wild West history, both for her connection to Doc Holliday and her independent spirit during a time with stricter societal norms for women. Louisa Earp, Morgan Earp's wife. Morgan Earp's wife was Louisa Alice Houston, whom he married in the 1870s. Unfortunately, there are not many confirmed details about their relationship. Some sources speculate they may have met in Montana or Kansas between 1871 and 1879. After Morgan's assassination in 1882, Louisa remarried in 1885 to Gustav Peters. She passed away in 1894 at the age of 39. Barmen tend to an Old West saloon. 2 bartenders in vests and aprons stand behind a wooden counter filled with liquor bottles. Men in various clothes, possibly cowboys, miners, or townsfolk, chat at the bar or stand around. The background suggests a set designed as a saloon interior, complete with tables, chairs, and maybe a piano. This image offers a glimpse into the social atmosphere of a Wild West saloon, where people from different walks of life gathered for drinks, conversation, and sometimes trouble. Shoshone Falls, 1874. An 1874 photograph by Timothy O'Sullivan captures the grandeur of Shoshone Falls. The black and white image showcases the untamed beauty of the West, with cascading water and mist creating a sense of awe. This view predates major development, offering a glimpse into the natural landscape encountered by explorers. A small figure in the foreground emphasizes the power of the falls. O'Sullivan's work is both a beautiful composition and a valuable historical record. Ike Clanton, Outlaw, 1881. Photos depict him as a mustachioed cowboy. 1881 was a key year for Clanton. Tensions with the Earps and Doc Holliday were high, culminating in the infamous gunfight at the OK Corral. While present, Clanton fled without shooting, and his brother died in the fight. The remainder of 1881 is unclear, with some suggesting revenge attempts and others portraying a period of hiding. Buffalo soldiers of the 25th Infantry Regiment. Finding a photo of a buffalo soldier from the exact year 1890 is a challenge. Photography back then wasn't ideal for capturing soldiers on the go. But luckily, there are many well-preserved images from the late 1880s and early 1890s that give us a clear picture. These photos show buffalo soldiers in their standard uniform: blue cavalry coat, yellow striped trousers, campaign hat, and boots. They're often seen carrying rifles and ammunition. The settings range from posed portraits to action shots of horseback riding or fort duty, offering a fascinating glimpse into their service and daily lives. Doc Holliday, 1879, was a busy year for Doc Holliday. Two famous photographs, possibly the only verified ones of him, capture his image that year. One shows him as a dentist, hinting at his past profession. In 1879, Holliday likely practiced dentistry briefly, but gambling remained his main source of income. He even opened a saloon in Las Vegas, New Mexico, but it closed after a shooting incident. This year also marked the beginning of his famed friendship with Wyatt Her, possibly starting in Dodge City, Kansas. One of the only authenticated pictures of Billy the Kid. There is only one universally accepted authentic photograph of Billy the Kid. This ferrotype image, believed to have been taken in late 1879 in Fort Sumner, New Mexico by photographer Ben Wittick, shows Billy the Kid, whose real name was William H. Bonney, wearing a cowboy hat and holding a Winchester rifle in his right hand. A Colt revolver is strapped to his left hip. The image was discovered in the 1980s and confirmed as authentic in 2011. It was later sold for a staggering $2.3 million at auction. Pyute Native Americans. There are images from that era that depict Pyute people and their way of life. It's important to note that this may not be an exact representation of Pyute attire or appearance in 1872, as some variations existed between different Pyute bands. However, it does offer a general idea of their clothing styles, which often included buckskin shirts, trousers, and moccasins. Pyute people were skilled hunters, gatherers, and basket makers, and their way of life was intricately connected to the land. Young Jesse James. Images exist claiming to be young Jesse. Their authenticity is uncertain. Descriptions suggest he had dark hair and eyes, and dressed in typical clothing for a young man of that era: pants, shirt, and a hat. 1864 was a crucial year for 17-year-old Jesse. The Civil War was ongoing, and tensions were high in Missouri. His father, a Confederate sympathizer, was killed by Union soldiers, likely shaping Jesse's future resentment and criminal path. The Civil War's impact on Missouri, a border state with divided loyalties, is a key part of understanding young Jesse James and the circumstances that would influence him. Transcontinental Railroad. The completion of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869 was a momentous occasion that marked a major turning point in American history. It connected the eastern and western United States by rail for the first time, forever changing transportation, communication, and settlement patterns across the country. The ceremony to celebrate the completion of the railroad took place at Promontory Summit, Utah, on May 10, 1869. The two companies that had been building the railroad from opposite ends, the Central Pacific Railroad building eastward from Sacramento, California, and the Union Pacific Railroad building westward from Omaha, Nebraska, met at this point and drove a ceremonial golden spike into the ground to symbolize the connection. Canyon de Chelly. Here's an 1873 image of Canyon de Chelly, captured by photographer Timothy O'Sullivan during an expedition led by Lieutenant George M. Wheeler. The black and white photograph offers a glimpse into the dramatic beauty of the canyon. The image highlights the towering canyon walls with their striations and layers of sediment. You can see an ancient ruin, the White House, nestled in a niche high above the canyon floor. This image provides valuable historical context as well. It showcases the canyon before large-scale development, allowing us to appreciate the natural landscape encountered by explorers in the 19th century. Ox teams at Sturgis, 1887. The black and white photograph offers a captivating glimpse into the daily life of the American frontier on Sturgis's main street. A line of powerful oxen, harnessed in pairs, stands stoic yet determined. Their large forms and lowered heads convey a sense of strength as they pull hefty wooden wagons laden with various goods. Dust kicks up slightly behind the hooves of the oxen, suggesting a dry and possibly hot day. The false fronts of frontier businesses line the street behind the slow-moving caravan. While the specific stores are difficult to make out, the variety hints at the necessities and potential luxuries available to early settlers in the region. Villa of Brule. An 1891 photograph titled Villa of Brule offers a window into a Lakota tribe encampment on the Pine Ridge Reservation. The foreground shows Lakota tipis, traditional cone-shaped dwellings with people moving around the camp. The Brule River winds through the background with smoke rising from campfires. While the photo is a valuable record, the title Hostile reflects the U.S. government's perspective at the time, not necessarily reality. The Lakota people were resisting forced assimilation and reservation life after being driven from their lands. Montana Mine. There is a well-known image titled Montana Mine by John C. H. Grabill, captured in 1889, that offers a glimpse into what a Montana mine entrance might have looked like during this era. The black and white photograph shows 8 men, likely miners, standing in front of a mine entrance. They hold various mining equipment such as pickaxes and shovels. Their clothing suggests the hard labor they perform, sturdy boots, pants, and shirts. The image offers a sense of the physical demands and potentially dangerous working conditions faced by miners in the Montana Gold Rush. The Bathhouse at Hot Springs, 1891. Photographing bathers in their swimsuits wasn't particularly common practice back then due to social mores of the time. However, there are images from that era that give you a general idea of what the bathhouses looked like on the exterior. These bathhouses were grand and elaborate structures, often built in Victorian architectural styles with features like cupolas, balconies, and wraparound porches. Here's an example of a similar bathhouse built in the late 1800s.